Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. During the last part, I did my third Wily challenge run, so in this part, I'll be covering at least 5 or 6 more Virus Made levels, starting out with this one, Wily's Secret Base of Operation by OfficialMemeGuy, with 11 plays and a score of 0. As always, if you want one of her levels to be featured in a future part like this one, please leave both the level name and level ID either in the comment section below or direct message me on Twitter. Also, as always, the full disclaimer of this entire LP series is linked in the description below. Also in the description are the timestamps for all the levels I cover in these parts, so if you want to check if her level is covered, expand the description. This is looking to be a fortress stage. Or perhaps a traditional level, I'm not sure. In terms of introducing enemies, this feels like a traditional level, as all the enemies are introduced in isolation first in a safer environment where players can get used to their attack patterns, and then gradually placing them in more hazardous environments. I never really like these sorts of challenges. It's always hard to grab onto the one-block ladders, at least for me. At least in this engine, it's not as difficult in Magmal 2. I keep holding up on the controller, it still doesn't grab it. This wouldn't be too bad if the ladder extended 2 blocks downwards. I'm not risking it, I'm just damage boosting. After 24 failures off screen, I did it. Those sorts of challenges are not well suited for this type of engine, especially with the controller issues, and for that reason, this segment alone destroyed my fun at this stage. Now, if the ladder went 2 blocks down or 3 blocks down, I'd be okay with that segment, but because it only goes 1 block down, it's just way too precise, and it's a huge difficulty spike. This segment I'm okay with, and you should put a checkpoint right after that spike corridor segment, or ladder grabbing segment, because having to do it again would be extremely frustrating for most players. I see. This isn't too bad though. because there's a Yoko block blocking the way of the red force beam. That was me not paying attention. What happened there? Are there spikes off screen as well? There probably are, and I need to use the ladder to jump over the red force beam. That's probably it. There was no spike over there. When I slid in from the left, I must have stood up right under the red force beam, which then insta-gipped me. This stage is gonna have at least 3 to 4 jump cuts, so you don't see me continuously failing for 10 minutes straight. I do like the Yoko Block challenges and how it's indicated on screen with the wires where the Yoko Blocks will spawn in, but it's these sort of challenges which I'm not too keen on. Why did that not work? This stage is quickly becoming super frustrating. I don't get it. That should work. Alright, I don't understand what the change was. I just went down the ladder a little bit and then dropped down from the left. That should not have any changes. More engine peculiarities. Another reason why I don't like this stage at all. And I guess it's the end of the stage. Overall, a very frustrating stage. Initially it had a good difficulty curve, but it was destroyed by these ladder grabbing segments. I know it recombined the usage of the Yoko blocks and the ladder grabbing at the end, but still, it's just way too difficult. And the engine does not work in its favor either. As I said before, if this challenge was made in a different engine like the Magmo 2 engine or the Megamix engine, this would work a lot better. Such a shame. I liked most of the stage until we hit the ladder grabbing segments. Second level on the lineup is Base Escapes the Freezing Tundra, Contest Level Version 2 by Nuclearstomp, with 31 plays and a score of 8. Let's hope that this stage is a lot easier and less frustrating than the previous stage was. The previous stage was a good example of what to do and what not to do in a Mega Man Maker level. I understand the ladder grabbing gimmicks, but they don't work well in this engine. We first acquire the Ice Slasher. This is gonna be another level in the series of based Ice King stages, made for that contest. Starting out pretty easy, showing us how to utilize the Ice Slasher. And we quickly gain access to the Perfect Freeze. Usually in these types of levels, it takes a short while before we gain access to the Perfect Freeze, or the Ice Slasher. But here we gain it almost immediately after the Ice Slasher. It seems more optimal to avoid fighting most enemies. Although we get full weapon restores at every checkpoint, so we can spam the Perfect Freeze. Safety first, especially with the iced over platforms. Oh, wait a minute, I want that E-Tank. Well, that was easy. I expected at least 1 or 2 failures there. Thankfully, just like all of the gimmicks in this stage, they're first introduced in safe environments and gradually escalated in terms of difficulty. Why does that teleporter lead back to the previous room? Especially when there's a checkpoint to the right. I presume this is the end of the stage. Yep, it is. Time to face Iceman. Well, this is a fun boss fight. You need to stand on top of the flipping platform as much as possible so you don't fall into the green force beam while at the same time dodging all of the ice slashers. Overall, this is a solid level. 7 out of 10 at least. Third level on the lineup is World 8-4 by Diamond Wolf with 12 plays and a score of 4. This, I believe, will be a recreation of World 4 from Super Mario Bros. Should have bounced on top of them. Or used the Star Crash at the correct point. I know that the Firestormer is the replacement for the Fire Flower, but what is the Star Crasher replacement for? The top spin is the replacement for regular jumping, of course. The tanks are exactly where the mushrooms would be. I guess the Star Crash is the equivalent of the running jump. Here we face Napalm Man, aka Bowser. And we just cut the bridge. Although in this case Napalm Man survives. And we ignore saving the princess on the right. This felt like a rather bland recreation. Fourth level on the lineup is Holy Carp It's Windy by QueenMonika, with 11 plays and a score of -2. I'm a bit worried with that negative score. Of course, there'll be a secret to the left. We first have a character selection. I'll be going through this level as base, as this sounds to be an air level, meaning a lot of bottomless pits. We get a drill bomb here, as was our first key. And we start out with a whole arsenal of special weapons, although we will unlock one more along the way. So let's do this. One way of dealing with enemies from above. For a second there, I thought they were split pathways. We even have split pathways, it seems. Ah, here's the leaf shield. I suppose it's Windman's weakness. I want to see what's behind the treble boost block. Nothing. I guess that's dedicated to only Mega Man and Proto Man, who can slide. So let's see what's up here instead. I will replay through the stage at least once so I can see where the bottom pathway leads to. The yahoos. Do I have Charge Kick here? No, I don't. So by taking this route as base, I'm soft locked. Well, that's a major minus for this stage, as you should be able to go through this route as base because you can reach this area with him. So already that's a minus for the stage. Not probably accounting for one of the playable characters, resulting in a soft lock. And this is the only direction you can go through, and this wouldn't be too bad if I had access to Charge Kick, but I don't. Unless there's a glitch I'm missing. So let's restart the stage from the beginning. This time, I'll take the lower route, once I gain access to the leaf shield again, that is. So this segment is dedicated to usage of the treble boost, or the rush jet, or proto jet. Let's see how this works out. Never mind, this is doable without those utilities, but it's a lot safer to do it this way. Already I have mixed feelings about the stage. A nice spin to the classic elevator stage gimmick. In order to climb up here, you're forced to use special weapons. So this stage feels like a fortress stage in that regard. And we face Windman over here. I guess taking that route links up from the top. I didn't really like this stage. It sort of felt like it was going somewhere, especially with the upper and lower routes, and it felt more well executed compared to some of the previous stages by QueenMonika, but it needs some more work. Like the upper route, it's actually, you can get soft locked if you're playing as base, and forced to restart the stage from the beginning. Put a clear indicator from above that you need to go through that section as Proto Man or Mega Man. Put a sliding block or a one tile gap before we have the branch split, before we have the checkpoint. Fifth level on the lineup is Branching Paths by Wardonis, with 46 plays and a score of 0. Let's see how this plays out. The previous stage that I played by Wardonis, All the New Toys, was a wonderful stage that was sadly marred by some technical issues. And it seems that this stage is going to be 50 to 60 screens long as well, so this may in fact be the last level I'll cover in this part. As if this stage has branching pathways, I'll have to go through it more than once. We can either get the Metal Blade, Charge Kick, Dive Missile, or Skull Barrier first. Let's get the Skull Barrier first, just in case. I presume each pathway will have a different set of challenges. Didn't realize we'd go that low again. The positioning of that Neo Shopman is a bit annoying though. Depending on what order I go through these segments, I can unlock a lower route as well as a free tank. It adds to the replayability of the stage. Thank you for the checkpoint. That section could do with a fewer number of enemies. It wasn't clear that I was supposed to go down here. It could have been an actual pit after all. That's section 1 done. Here's our first key. Oh, I see. Here are the 3 other pathways I could have taken, which lead up to here. And this leads up to the final part of the stage, I guess. For a second there, I thought this was a bottomless pit, but this is intended. Oh, I see. Now we can choose what special weapon to earn next. Let's get the Charge Kick next. I wonder if this challenge would be the same if I decide to go for the Charge Kick first, or is the challenge modified a bit? What I'm saying is that, does the order I go through these mini segments or mini challenges affect how the challenges are set out? Or are they completely the same regardless? One of these segments I see. Could have made it if the stuttering wasn't there. Wait a minute, there's a secret up there. And of course I miss it because I get sniped by the petite snakey. No way to access it unless I took the metal blade first. I wonder if there's an optimal order to these mini segments. For instance, this segment feels notably easier than the Skullbearer segment. Okay, there is a difference. Because I wouldn't be able to go through this segment unless I had access to the Skull Barrier first. I just tapped right on the controller and immediately sent me into spikes. Was all this just for an M-tank? Oh, I was meant to go down over here. Hopefully there's not a bottomless pit down over there. There isn't. Good. I see. In order to get up over there, I need to destroy the pull legs. That's the end of this section, where we gain access to the charge kick as well as a key. Leads us back over here. Rats, I could have made it if I used the charge kick's air jump properties. Which makes me want to test something. Could I go end the stage right now? I want to see where this leads down to. Never mind, I need all 4 special weapons. Okay, that explains what this teleporter is for. I thought that was a secret or the end of the stage. Would have liked if we didn't have to fall this far or for this long. I guess it's there due to how the level is structured though. So I need all 4 special weapons in order to complete the stage, so let's get the Metal Blade next. I get the strong impression that the level design does not change depending on what order you go through the special weapon mini challenges. The thing I saw before, where I was able to slide through the spikes with a skull barrier, that was just optional and always there. It was just a plus if you unlock the skull barrier first, similar to how I could unlock a shortcut if I had access to Metal Blade first. One of the sections where it's beneficial to have access to the skull barrier. Charge kick as well. I see what we're going for here. Oh no. There's way too many enemies here. At least they're kind of hard to hit. That's it, I'm using an E-Tank, it's too risky. If there's one improvement of the stage I'd like to suggest, is to reduce the number of enemies, it's too spammy. Especially when that can happen. These segments require precision and you have to also focus on all those enemies, so it makes it more difficult and reduces the fun. If I had a special weapon that could fire diagonally downwards, it would be a lot more okay. Like, if I had access to the Metal Blade already. I didn't mean to do that, I was trying to break out of it, but of course this is this engine, so it didn't accept it. I like the idea of having multiple pathways to go through the stage, but the execution is where it falters a bit. I'm glad there's frequent or semi-frequent drops of the life energy and weapon energy. No need to go for that M-Tank though. That's the Metal Blade segment done. Easily the hardest section out of the tree so far. One left to go. This is definitely going to be the final level I'll cover in this part. I didn't expect this level to go for as long as it did. Last but not least is the dive missile segment. I do like how each and every one of these sections focuses on a different set of challenges and has a different aesthetic. someone made it past that segment unscathed. The checkpoint placement for this stage is mostly on point. I see, this is an optional segment if you have access to the skull barrier. That's another plus of this stage. Depending on what order you go through these special weapon challenges, you can unlock shortcuts and other goodies. Let's see what this shortcut opens up. Not really a shortcut, but a free tank. Seriously, many of these rooms could do without half the enemies. 33% to 50% less enemies. That would be my main suggestion for this stage. It was fun, sure, but some sections were more difficult than they should be. I keep harping on that point because that's the main thing that brings down the stage for me. Otherwise, this feels like a above-average Fortress stage. If that issue is fixed, it'll take the stage from being a 6.5 out of 10 to a 7.5 out of 10, or a 7 out of 10. Free tank, thank you. Another room that's filled with enemies, but I don't mind as much, mainly because you have more room to maneuver around, and more time to react to enemies. Oh, there was no need to jump over there. Oh, okay. A bit of a leap of fate there unless you're on the right side of the screen. This should be it. Never mind, one section left. I guess each one of these sections between each of the checkpoints focuses on a usage of a certain special weapon. Like this one's focusing on usage of the Metal Blade. At least that's what I think. I may be completely off base here. That was the end of Branching Paths. A neat level where we need to go through 4 mini segments and then a final mini segment. And depending on what order you go through, you'll unlock different special weapons that can help with each of the branching pathways. And at the end, we use most of our special weapons in order to complete the level. I would give this stage a thumbs up, but gosh, there was too much enemy spam, especially with the segment regarding the Metal Blade and the first segment regarding the Skull Barrier. Those made those sections a lot more frustrating. If those are resolved, I'll give the stage a thumbs up. So overall, out of the 5 levels I covered in this part, my favorite level would definitely be Base Escapes the Freezing Tundra by Nuclearstomp, with an honorable mention going to Branching Paths by Wardonis, even with all of its issues. So in the next part, I'll be covering several more viewer submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!